What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I'm just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. As always, if you see me over on Redux and you see something, you're like, why are you looking up and also getting information from a feminist news outlet? Easily, just because I may not like what they are, that doesn't mean that every type of information that comes from this angle is completely wrong. There's always truth to every single thing that comes out. You just need to be able to figure out what it is. I don't, again, I don't so as much as, ow. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, I will always sit there and try to protect women. I will always try to bring information and make people aware of what's going on in the world because we need to look out for each other. Period. So just because these women ultimately are feminist and the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, that doesn't mean that I'll stop and change my principles to help people just how I am. France. The two top players in a women's league basketball league are both male. Well, no shit.
Oh my
I guess
god,
that's gonna be the thumbnail right there.
fuck, man. Get your ass on, boy.
Beautiful.
Boy, you get your goddamn ugly
Two
ass on.
trans identified males are dominating a top women's basketball league in France, outranking every female player in the league this season. Julie Jimmy Tedart, 33, and Aurora Plantou, 43, ranked first and second respectively in League Feminine 2 this season based on evaluation statistics. France, what are you doing, France? LF2 is France's second highest level of women's basketball, sitting just below the top tier league. I think it's League Feminine de Basketball, playing for teams in Monaco and Grenoble. Tidar and Pantou currently outrank every female player in overall statistical efficiency. I covered a story about how you had males playing soccer and they was destroying. There was an all trans team that was destroying women, and then I think there was an all girls. What is it? Female to male team that got absolutely obliterated by a male team, and then somewhere down the line, I remember just looking at this story and covering it and just being like, "That's crazy." And then somewhere down the line, like probably like 8 months later, the person who that represents that organization or whatever like that, they came on my channel and was like, "Oh, do you have something to say? The trans team just won." And it's like, okay, so they probably really played against some bums because you have young men who can beat professional female soccer players. Once they hit a certain age, they peak over them. What are you saying? Oh, because one out of 10 games, one out of 12 games, a female to male team finally beat a male team. They probably was really garbage. Either they was really garbage or the game wasn't really that important to them. Probably took a fall to get some ass. Who knows? Anyway, LF2 is France's second highest level of women's basketball, sitting just below the top tier. League Feminine de Basketball, playing for teams in Monaco. Okay, so I read that. Despite being older than most of his much younger female peers, Tedart leads the field with an average of 35.5 evaluation points per game, though Pantro trails a good distance behind with 22. He still ranks just above the top-ranked female player, Anise Nervazwa, I don't know how to say these names, who has 19.9 points. T-Dart formerly played in the ESC Tagerner male team prior to declaring a transgender identity. Last year, he rejoined the sport as a woman. So my man went female at 33, so 32. So before anyone sits there and goes, "Oh, well, it's not that much different. Estrogen lowers their advantages and smooths everything out." 32 years old. My man been hit puberty. Okay. Even with that lie, it still wouldn't be right. In an interview with RMC Sport, T-Dart describes his performance as his reward for having gone through a number of cosmetic gender-affirming surgeries, including a vocal cord surgery that significantly reduced his lung capacity. Why? Why would this is it's crazy. A broken male does not equivalent to a female. And they'll sit there in your face and sit there and say they're a woman. As an athlete, why would you reduce your lung capacity in any capacity playing a sport? So even with multiple handicaps, you still edged over them. I think any woman that supports this type of thing, I'm not gonna even say that. When I came back, I was told you have basketball skills, but physically you're out of shape and you don't know how to play. I stopped for several years and had to work a lot, he told the French sports news outlet, boasting the improvements of his athletic prowess. It's not my goal to be a symbol, but if I can help, all the better, T-Dart said. My Instagram is still public, by the way. Back then, I would have liked to be able to talk to someone to have a point of reference regarding trans identity. I know I'm putting myself out there by speaking out, but I prefer to take the time and energy to explain what it's like, and I hope to be able to have peace of mind for the rest of my short career. Unlike T-Dart, Panto does not frequently speak about his transgender identity, but claimed the title of the first trans woman to become a professional basketball player in 2021. Pantou, Pautou, I don't know how to say that, has stepped away from basketball for a period of time, but rejoined after playing against senior women. My man was breaking grandma's ankles, but rejoined after playing against senior women at a local gym. Yo, imagine playing against older women and becoming empowered and then wearing their fucking skin. While I never thought I'd be able to play again, one evening in October in 2019, something clicked, he said. A little online research later, I went to a gym near my home where senior women were training. I asked the coach if I could play on a hoop, and well, I can't even describe the feeling, pure joy. So he gets enjoyment from taking away from me. I worked a job where I have to make sure that people aren't on the premises at all times at one point. And I remember there was this basketball court on the premises. And I remember looking at the cameras and seeing a bunch of people on the basketball court. So here I go strapped up, and I'm with another person. So me and this chick are both walking or whatever like this, and we're going to go, confront them because they got to not be on the premises and stuff like this. And it's a bunch of older men playing basketball. We talking gray hairs and all of this, right? And it's the middle of the night. They playing basketball, right? And they're playing basketball, right? It was like six or seven of them. I didn't have it in my heart to tell them to leave. I can't take that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Right? I couldn't do it. Why? Like there's some things that you just who sits there knows that they fucked up. Their time is fleeting. Beats older women at basketball. Play among older women at basketball and sit there and go, aha, I'm gonna become transgender now. It's pure joy. It's crazy. Since coming back to basketball, he has won multiple titles in 3v3 tournaments, and at the end of the last division season 2, in 2014 and 15, he was ranked as the top player overall. Damn, he cheated.org. If you thought the photos of him playing against women were absurd, just wait until you see him in action. Here's my thing, man. They will never ever play in a league of their own. You know what's crazy? I guarantee you there's a good no, I don't guarantee it. There's a good chance the women who claim that female basketball is just as important as male basketball and they deserve the same pay, female athletes, they're getting paid shorthanded. I guarantee you there would be people that would support the trans league more than the female league because you'll have these low quality, the hive, feminists coming to support the trans league. But they'll never do a trans league because then trans will have to play against trans. And then we'll really see who's really about it. Let's be real here. Let's look at this. Yo. I'm pretty. Is it shorter? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I was very athletic as a kid, and one of the things I wanted to do was be able to dunk. I think only one or two kids were able to dunk, and those dudes were genetic freaks. Even with the rim probably being lower. Do you know how high a basketball rim is? This shit ain't even fair. This shit ain't. Both men have. Oh wait, hold on. Let's look at the replies real quick. What makes this even worse is that the number 2 ranked player in the LFL2 and Jerome Pantu is also a man, and not just any man. Pantu is a man nearing 42 years of age. Yo, look at this shit, dog. This is the equivalent of every yo. This is the equivalent of every fucking person. This is the equivalent of Shaquille O'Neal playing with middle schoolers. Like it's not even close. Like here's the thing, when in the male leagues or whatever like that, with male basketball, yeah, you'll get a male who's much bigger than the others, right? But typically they're not better than the all the other players and everything else, right? They're not faster or whatever like this. This dude is this is crazy. Yo, this is crazy. It's not even look at them. It's not even close, man. Yo, dog. T Tart stands at 6'3", while Pantu is 6'2". Pantu's muscling his way through women 10 years younger, and T Tart's dunking on women who have 10 times more talent than he does. Yeah, but again, you can have all the talent in the world. If you physically can't overcome it, that's a huge ass fucking edge. You could be a phenomenal boxer if you're fighting against some fucking orangutan. If you're fighting against you don't even need to be fancy about it. I don't care. You could be a grade one boxer if that's a good rank. Fighting against a fucking orangutan, you about to get ripped in half, bro. What are you talking about? Both men have complained about transphobia in the sport, and T-Dart lamenting about the lack of support from spectators and action by referees. Unfortunately, nothing happens. They pretend they don't hear or see anything and play as if nothing's wrong. Oh, you mean like when you bump into a female and she goes fucking flying? It's new, unprecedented. We're not used to it, but the comments are degrading and humiliating. T-Tart suggested that there should be sanctions against fans. Yes, that'll do good. Let's put some sanctions against fans on your already damn near invisible support. Okay, like there currently are for those who hurl racist abuse at players in other sporting leagues. Don't bring this. Don't bring. Why do they do this? What? Yo, they always do this. They always do this. Whenever they want to push their agenda forward, here they come. Oh well, what about the blacks? It's racist to talk bad about people who aren't the same skin, and it's like you're a fucking fool if you fall for it. And talk about, yeah, we need to support them. Likely due to his ability to help his team dominate the season. Some of T-Tart's colleagues have backed him publicly. It will always be women. There will always be women. Again, it's funny as hell every single time I see a post where you have some trans individual doing something terrible, and then you got this brain rotted ass female going, men going into male spaces, but they're not saying it as, common sense. We understand it's a man. They're saying it because of their hatred for men. Their hatred for men when they're the ones who allowed men, broken men, so they're not men at all, to get into their spaces because men are the one fighting to protect the women. Men are the ones who gave the real pushback. While you had women that sit there that support it. Leave him alone. He's okay. He's not hurting nobody. You need to be tolerant. But then when that house is on fire, because they're the ones that set it on fire, they look to you to save it. And they'll still blame you for everything every single time. This is the reason why I can't really mess with J.K. Rowling, because as intelligent as that woman is, at the end of the day, she's still a feminist. So there's that part of her that even though she's married, even though she had kids or has kids, she still hates men, because that's the creed of feminism. You'll hate men, but you need men, and men are the ones that are the primary defenders. It's not even women that are the primary defenders. Women are lukewarm. Women are flexible. Women are fucking Play-Doh when it comes down to supporting and protecting women. It's men that's trying to stop it. Let's be real here. Men are the ones who are protecting you, but you'll sit there and blame men, broken men. You'll sit there and blame men for broken men that you allow to exist. Only listen. Cardi B, the rat, said it herself, which is hilarious. And it's funny because if you look at Cardi B, apparently Cardi B was sitting there talking a bunch of shit about single baby mothers and all of this, that, and the third. And now she has two kids, left with some cheating guy to be with another cheating guy who's a bigger cheater than the guy that she was with that was cheating. So she literally became the thing that she claimed. Well, she already was the thing, but she literally became the thing that she was bashing other women for. But the difference is, and why people support it is because of money. Low quality women, that's all they see is money. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. One coach from another team noted that there is a clear difference in physical ability. Oh, you don't say. Is that a hot take? Between Tedder and female players, the coach said that while all the people should have the freedom to be who they want, one person's freedom ends where another begins. No, it's one person's freedom shouldn't end where another one begins. The coach continued by noting that female players are working in the professional leagues and that their ability to earn professional contracts with challenges by being forced to compete against men. We know this. This is not, you know what's so sad about this? This has been going on for at least a good 10, 15 years. How many women do we got to see in MMA get holes punched into their skulls? And then those same women will sit there and be like, they won't even speak out about it. Well, they'll speak out about it when they realize that they can get attention. Because at the end of the day, let's be real here, a lot of women ultimately want attention. Ultimately want attention. That's the reason why once a woman turns 40 years old, I hit on them crazy. Because if you don't give that flower the water and love it needs, it's gonna up and fucking take a grenade and fucking explode. It's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All right. Uh and we already know that when it comes down to it, a lot of these people are only doing it to benefit themselves. You know, what was that soccer player, Rain Rapinoe or whatever like that, who was sitting there talking about she deserved equal pay, females deserved equal pay, and then she sat there and she did all of the shit that she did, and then when she left, I think she got injured on her last game, which is fucking hilarious. And then when she left, she pulled up the ladder for newer, basically all the shit that she was able to do. She didn't want other newer soccer players doing it. Crazy. We already know if a woman was supposed to be in second or third place, now they're in third and fourth. In this case, current French Basketball Federation (FFBB) policies allows males to play in women teams provided they have legally changed their sex, but recent reports indicate they are reviewing the issue very seriously. After backlash from female players, T-Dart had stated that if the rules were to change and he was prevented from playing against women, he would look to switch to a foreign league. The news of Pautou and Tatar's participation in women's basketball was brought to light by women's sport advocacy group HeCheated.org, which took to social media to condemn the trans activists who often deny that trans-identified males are taking opportunities from women in sports. I might subscribe to that. I might subscribe to them. I don't follow nobody on Twitter though. This is just another reminder that trans right activists. This is just another reminder to trans rights activists. Just because you don't know about them, it doesn't mean they don't exist. Men are physiologically different than women when they are allowed to compete against women. Even if you don't hear about it, they are almost guaranteed to be at the top somewhere. According to 2024 United Nations report, almost 900 athletic medals have been taken from girls and women by trans-identified males competing in female categories. The 20-page report reviewed violence against women and girls in sports, adding that more than 600 biologically female athletes have lost at least